Hey there folks, rinimt here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. In the last part, we took on Thornton and Anti-Tower. We found Menphilia. And launched Conviction. If you would rather not take a rest, we kinda did, it's a new video, why not take a walk around Falcon's Nest, make your presence known to the people and so forth? In addition to those who have come from far and wide to attend the ceremony, you may meet Lords Artoria and the Madeleine, who have graciously volunteered their services. I should be glad to see you. Now, if you would excuse me, I must needs return to my duties. Okay. I think the people here know me well enough. I'm glad to see that the rumors were true. Well met, Mistress Ariana, and fear not, I have no intention of begging your aid with this or that. Everything appears to be in order. My only lingering concern is that one of the convictors might not have been informed of our plans. As I recall, the Dofnir may pass directly over their encampment. Lastly, we need is a glory-seeking nobleman attempting to slay Dravani ambassador to a peace conference. Yeah, that would be bad. Do you know when everything's set to begin? I wasn't sure how many might come, so I thought best to come early and find a spot with a great view. When I heard that Sir Emmerich was planning to make a speech, I knew I couldn't miss it. I mean, the man risked his own neck to rescue those hostages. How often do we get heroes like that in this day and age? And he's more than a fighter too. He's a thinker, he is. He's got plans to better our lives, to change things. And he'll do it by the Fury. Me and my friends, my family, we all believe he can do it. Bloody exciting, isn't it? Not just peace with the dragons, but with all them heretics besides. Don't misunderstand, we've all got a healthy fear of being bathed in Dragonfire. That being said, the heretics did far more to hinder our efforts here in the past, so hearing that we're close to a reconciliation comes as a great relief. Alright, let's find Artorel. How much has changed since we fought alongside each other in the vault? If you had told me then that we would soon be hosting a peace conference, I would have thought you a naive fool. Yet here we are, preparing to make that a fantasy a reality. Ha! Here I am, laboring to make it so. What? Oh, hi. Lord Artois, if I may. Certainly, First Commander. How may I be of service? Some of the convictors are refusing to stand down. The majority were willing to do so, but a small party have instead pledged to engage any Dravanians bound for Falcon's Nest. Very take me, they would defy Sir Emerich's commands if they dare attack Vidofnir. It would not come to that, or it will not come to that. To see that it does, we must needs hasten to their encampment. They should be far more reluctant to oppose us. Were a Lord of House Fortant present? Understand completely. Let's depart at once. But ere we do, I must ask, will you look after Madeleine while I'm away? As you know, he has ever been an impulsive, changeable child. Recently, he seems to have been suffering from a bout of melancholy. I thought to lift his fears by having him assist with guard duty. A simple but honorable charge. Unlikely to expose him to danger, given the presence of so many other knights. Unless he has taken no interest in that fear, he may abandon his post in my absence. I ask is that you keep an eye on him until I return, exhausting though that may be. Thank you, my friend. I promise we will not be long. Once more, a favor. I'm rather busy at the moment, old girl, guarding this tavern, as it were. Oh, I see now. Artoriel thought I might be derelict in my duties, eh? Never my brother questioned my dedication. But since you are here, mayhap I could put you to proper use. The wasteland beyond the walls must be kept safe for travelers, yet I've been forbidden from leaving Falcon's Nest. It wouldn't do for our esteemed guest to be devoured by wolves, oh no. And yet, that is precisely what will happen if we do not cull the roaming packs. your map, if I may? Right. There. Those are the points our scouts marked for patrol. I'll leave you to it, old girl. Come on, Roy. We must return to my rounds. Oh dear. Do be careful, my lady. Having a fight with my sheriff gun. A fight of I either feel like I'm sitting on the ground practically or like 1 inch off of it. Because my blankets I'm sitting on are trying to go flat as a dang pillow. Anyway. Yeah, I'm like way low right now. In fact, I'm going to just try and fix it for good here. This is like awful. Ahem, there's our destination now that I've got things fixed for now. Sorta. Probably lost about 20 minutes, but hey! We have some ghost wolves here. I do not want to move. What the heck? There we go. And let's do that once more. I got 2 this time. The little one. No, alpha. Alright. Back to Manolane. The Wolfsbane. It pleases me to inform you that I have completed my rounds and that all is well in Falcon's Nest. Oh, and there was a grizzled fellow looking for you. You know, the one who made the arsonist confess. Clever that. Thancred, was it? He was asking after you. Anyway, once I noticed the garish weapons he was sporting, I deemed it a waste to leave him be. Dispatched into an area I neglected to mark on your map. Yes, this one. If you hurry, he might still be there. Gee, thanks. Of course, it's way out in the middle of, like, nowhere. Seriously? Hello, Thancred. Fancy meeting you here, Arya. It was fortunate I came when I did. These two would not have fared well against the wolves on their own. The young lord wasted no time taking advantage of you, did he? And me, I suppose. Let's return to Falcon's Nest then and see what other thrilling task he may have for us. And there they are, a pair of gallant heroes if I ever saw them. Comrades in arms reunited at last. By your selfless sacrifice have you guaranteed the safety of our many guests. On behalf of Ishgard, I thank you both. And with that, there is nothing left to do but to enjoy our well-earned respite. Yeah. For those, we have lost. Oh, and this should of course go without saying, but let's keep those last few favors between us. Yes, our Twirl wouldn't understand. Right then, the first floor of those barracks have been converted into a tavern for the duration of the conference. Why don't you go and have something to eat? For once a suggestion with which I agree. Go on ahead, Arya. I will join you in on.
Welcome, welcome. Find yourself an empty seat and I'll be with you in a moment. cold out, isn't it? Here, a mug on the house. Let's get some colour back in them cheeks. Freed food will be a bit longer than usual. We've got a lot of hungry folk to feed, what with the conference and all. Oh, so many people with cause to celebrate. To think there could be peace in our time, after all them years of fighting. When I heard about the conference, I knew I had to come. I knew I had to be here, to do my bit. My husband, he died fighting the dragons, you see. And here we are, about to break bread with him.
You were right, mother. You look tired. Reckon you could do with a good long rest? After all you've done, I'd say you've earned it. Sleep now. Sleep. Sleep and leave us to our affairs.
This was never your fight.
My son. They told me he walks in Hallone's halls. Him and the rest of his unit.
He told me the same.
I expect they think it's comforting. Every time I come, I cry. I cannot bear to remember, but to forget would be 1,000 times worse. Yet that is what they would have us do. Accept this truth for the sake of peace. Bury the past and look to the future. But he was my future, my flesh and blood, my heart.
Is this it? We're the only ones with the courage to oppose this madness? Cowards, a lot of them. They think only of the prize, of the peace Sir Emmerich promises them. They know in their hearts it's a lie, but they go along with it anyway, desperate fools. But not I. Not I! I see the worm that killed my brother in my dreams every night, and I will not rest until he lies broken at my feet. Him and every last one of his accursed kin. All this nonsense about Kings of Eld, as if I care what they did or didn't do, makes no difference to me and mine. Have the dragons sued for peace in 1,000 years? Are they bollocks? It's a bloody ruse is what it is, and Sir Emmerich and the rest of them bloody fallen for it.
But what can we do? They believe, and naught we can say will ever change their minds. Whether we like it or not, man and dragon will come together at Vulcan's Nest, and all will be forgiven. Forgiven and forgotten.
No. I will not let that happen.
Oh?
They will remember the true face of the enemy. I will show it to them. And we will rise up against them once more.
Hey! Hey! This is no time for napping. Do you have your wits about you? Good. Come with me. We have a crisis on our hands.
Hear me, brothers and sisters. Do not be fooled by the honeyed words of the Dravarnians. The peace they promise is but a prelude to slaughter. Remember your husbands and wives never returned from war. Your children torn apart by fang and claw. All your loved ones shown no mercy. Does not your heart cry out for vengeance? Your blood boil at the injustice? Remember the face of your enemy, brothers and sisters. Remember it, and strike back!
You there! Don't just stand around gawping! Do something, man! Stop her!
Yes, my lord.
See here the true nature of the Highborn. With lies and deception they lead us to our doom. And dare we raise our voices in dissent? Death is our reward. This is the choice they have given us, brothers and sisters. Death by dragon's fang, or death by nobleman's command. Death to all we hold dear. I spit on your choices, noblemen! You will take no more from me! No more! No more!
What have you done?
I only did as you ordered, my lord.
I gave no such order. I did not. I never meant for anyone to...
Oh, hello. Hello again. I dare say that could not have played out any worse, given that the first commander and Lord Artorial are not here to take control of the situation. I spoke with a messenger who said they would be returning shortly, but until they do, naught will be done. Lord Manalaine has retreated to the barracks and is refusing to speak to anyone. Therefore, it falls to us to ensure the order has been fully restored. Come, let us walk the streets and speak with the people. My wife and I fell fleeing with the others at first. The Cherugians tended to our bruises afterwards. Those mad fools have ruined everything. And for what? The wrong button. They were wrong to resort to violence, but when I heard her spoke, her words were as a dagger in my heart. Who are we to decide that enough is enough? That their calls for justice can never be answered? Will this be the end of it, or will there be others like them and the true brothers? I do not want to bear steel against my kinsmen ever again. I do not know if I even can. I had heard the rumors that the young lord was a drunken fool. What imbecile thought would be a good idea to let him have the run of Falcon's Nest? Well, I say him and Sir Emmerich take their bloody change and shove it up their arses. I'll not be taken in by that rot again. Well, what say you? So the violence has passed, but the people are far from recovered. That is to be expected. For the moment, it appears that no innocents were harmed by the guards. The blame for all casualties can be placed squarely upon the protesters. Nevertheless, the people will not soon forget the image of a young lordling ordering the public execution of an unarmed protester, one whose words resonated with the hearts of many. After all, who among us has not lost loved ones? Consequences. The heck are we getting? Oh, I guess the weapons is here? Something? Lord Artorial and the first commander should have returned by now. To the tavern then. Their first order of business will be to speak with Lord Manalaine, and I somehow doubt that he has moved an elm since we last saw him. My apologies, Arya. I bear full responsibility for this debacle. There will be a time for that later. I, for one, am more concerned about the picking up the pieces. What do we know? According to initial reports, the protest was orchestrated by the young woman whom Lord Manalaine ordered shot. She and her conspirators infiltrated Falcon's Nest, posing as servants and guests. Several were taken alive, others resisted and were struck down. Still others took their own lives. Our forces suffered casualties as well, but by the grace of the Fairy, no civilians were seriously injured. Still more remarkably, the ringleader yet lives. For the time being, at least. The Trojans are doing what they can for her, but she may not live through the night. Given their impeccable timing, it is likely that the convictors who drew us away from the hamlet were in league with the protesters. Accordingly, we have detained them for questioning. I'll be sworn that these villains spent as much effort plotting the failure of this peace conference as we did its success. Well, if the mood of the hamlet is any indication, theirs have been the more fruitful labors. In the wake of the protests, the people seem disillusioned. You spoke with them? I see. Sir Emmerich placed his trust in me. It will be difficult to explain what has happened here. Remember how far we have come, First Commander. People's faith may be shaken, but we convinced them before, and we will do so again. If we can but find a means to remind them, to show them once more the promise that holds for all, that this tragedy too shall pass into the past. We must pray that you are right. Nevertheless, for the time being, I have no choice but to suspend the peace conference pending Sir Amaric's final decision. Under the circumstances, I cannot leave Falcon's Nest. Arya, will you deliver my report to the Lord Commander in my stead? Get up, Amanda Lane. You're going with her. Go on without me. I was not asking. You will answer for your actions in person. Is that clear? Yes, my lord. Come, Monroy. Your manservant is not here. In fact, I've not seen him for some time. On the right? On the right! I could have sworn he was. Oh, yeah. Up here. Somewhere. Maybe. Back here. There you are.
Onawa! No. What have they done to you? Onawa! Onawa!
Is that you, my lord? You seem rather flustered.
Because of you, you imbecile! What in the seven hells happened to you?
My apologies. Some few of the guests expressed a wish to leave, and I implored them to stay. It would seem they took issue with my request.
Oh, gods forgive me. If I had only been more careful with my words.
Do not blame yourself, my lord. I know that you and your brother have Ishgard's best interests at heart. That poor woman. She lives in the past, clinging to the memories of the lost. But the future holds so much promise, so much joy. And you know that better than any.
Onawa?
Calm yourself. The boy will live. But it's imperative we get him inside and into the care of a Kairoujian without delay.
Oh, we were so close! Why does it all have to fall to pieces? Don't they want to live in peace? Don't they want to be happy? We all want the same thing! And still it falls to pieces! Tell me, what was I supposed to do? Someone, anyone, tell me, what was I supposed to do?
Stop looking to others. You make your choice and you live with the consequences.
And what would you know about consequences? You who always know just what to say and just what to do. Your every deed is greeted with a round of applause.
everything about me. I have fought tooth and nail for the people I hold dear. Done everything in my power to save them. And I have failed. Learn to live with it. I have.
May have been the wrong person to say that to, Madeline. Oh hey, here's the Thornton bird finally. I may have overreacted, but it needed to be done. He was becoming hysterical. I understand the desire to look for reasons, for excuses, to convince yourself you had no choice. But the past is the past, and there is naught to be gained from reliving your mistakes. I know this. I know this. But he... Come on, none of these are useful. Choices. I have no desire to wait for the lordling to emerge from his puddle of self-pity. We have important matters to attend to in Ishgard. Yes, let's do that. You were expected, miss. Thank you. Word of the demonstration and its resolution outstripped you, Arya. Every man, woman, and child of Ishgard has heard the tale. It is rumored that my youngest lack of judgment was to blame. Of course, such stories are prone to exaggeration. What exactly came to pass? I see. So that is the truth of it. Oh, I'm on the auto still. Regardless of his intent, the result is undeniable. He has furthered the cause of these misguided few who cannot let go of the past. In an instant, the delicate peace we are poised to forge is once more beyond us. To dwell so deeply in the war and the vengeance it begets, only for that too to be taken away. Is it any wonder that they weren't left bereft? For what was the sacrifice? Have we not to show for our suffering? I thought peace a sufficient salve, but mayhap I was mistaken. We are warriors, Lord Edmont, and ours is a nation built on centuries of warfare. Right or wrong, this is who we are, and we deny it at our peril. To hold on to the past without being beholden to it, we must needs find a way to honor the sacrifices of our forefathers without glorifying in their excesses. A difficult path, to be sure. We dare not deny the scars which mar our nation's soul, lest we spur other disillusioned souls to retrace them. But alas, as you say, we dare not revel in past glories either, for they are tainted all. A clear, unambiguous enemy, and an undeniably righteous cause. 'Tis a bitter reflection, but lies though they were, they did long serve to unite us. No truth will ever serve as well, I fear. Yet, we are not without options. At our last meeting, a proposal was tabled by the other members of the Eorzean Alliance for joint military exercises to strengthen the ties between our nations and test our readiness to meet with a common threat. I thought to delay these exercises until after the peace conference, but mayhap a grand melee would be just the thing to lift our beleaguered spirits. But still, an occasion for the Temple Knights and the Watch to take the field as allies, a unified Ishgardian force. filled with men and women from all walks of life, which would stand against a coalition of the allied nation's finest. Hosted by Ishgard in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment, a victory under such circumstances would serve as a reaffirmation, nay, a declaration to all and sundry that we are as strong and united as ever. Such a victory would do much to fan the flames of patriotism, it is true. But if we should be defeated, though, even to hold our own against the cream of 3 nations might be presented as a triumph. Very well, you may count on my support for what little it is worth. However, I have a request. I would have my son the Mandalane take part in the grand melee. By his deeds has he brought shame upon Ishgard, and so by his deeds I would have him bring our nation honor. As you wish, my lord. That is his desire, and it shall be so. Now then, we have no time to lose. Arya, will you be so kind as to deliver my instructions to Lucia? I shall write to the Alliance leaders at once and begin making arrangements for the grand melee. Should you chance to see my son, pray inform him of his duty. If he has not already returned, he will soon enough, making every effort to avoid me. So that is their solution. A grand melee to unite the people. And what part would they have you play in this affair, I wonder? You, whom they have taken into their confidence, upon whom they have come so heavily to rely. And will you oblige them when the proposition is made? Will you stand for Ishgard once more? We have come this far, have we not? Well, when you put it like that, I suppose it would be a shame not to see it through to the bitter end. So, for this grand melee Sir Aymeric wishes to feel the force comprising of both his Temple Knights and Hilda's Watch, yes? I can only imagine what she'll have to say about that. In fact, curiosity compels me to go and see for myself. Bye! How you gonna leave? Oh, whatever. Well met, Arya. Have you spoken with Sir Aymeric? Yeah. I was aware of the Alliance's request. So, Sir Aymeric would turn these exercises into a spectacle for the masses. It is not that I doubt the efficacy of such a plan. Indeed, I know its effectiveness only too well, having witnessed it firsthand. Nevertheless, he has not once given me reason to doubt his intentions, and these are desperate times indeed. I will select knights for the event forthwith. As for the watch... Did he now? How considerate of Master Thancred to seek out our young watch commander of his own volition. Alas, he acted prematurely. Pray deliver this list of watch candidates to Hilda. I would have her best men, not her most dispensable. Yeah, Thancred. Way to be in a hurry. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this here. Yes, this works. Hello. Thancred's been telling me all about Sir Aymeric's grand soiree. It seems we're expected to join in. It's nice of him to invite us and all, but I hope he knows what he's doing, because we ain't dressed to dance in with professional bleeding soldiers. Well, well, since the first commander's gone and handpicked her guest. Can't say I disagree with her choices, though. She's got a good eye. Will you be fighting too? Or could it inspire the lads if you were? Might take their minds off getting their hands tied, hides tan, and all. Think about it, eh? Hate to ask, but you haven't seen our favorite lordling, have you? I thought not. On the assumption that he is not to be found in his father's loving embrace, I suggest we split up and look for him. I will search the foundation and you the pillars. Of course, I have to take the other area. Looks like... I carried Honorwood to the manor. Our best chirurgeons are tending to him as we speak. He is yet to wake, but surely he will. So Father has volunteered me for this grand melee of theirs. My beloved family, always making my decisions for me. No, it's not like that. It's just, oh, you wouldn't understand. How could you? You're free to be the woman you want to be, whereas I am a son of House Raton, don't you see? My future was determined before I was born. What I could and could not do. Right or wrong, that was the way of it. Until the old order began to crumble. Now we wander amidst the rebels, searching for a purpose. For a place. All around me, brave men and women rise to the occasion with faith and conviction. They dedicate themselves to their causes. But not I. I was terrified of making the wrong choice, which is why I let better men make them for me. Do this, do that, take this duty, guard this conference. I suppose I convinced myself I was above it, until your friend showed me otherwise. When I saw Honorwood, I wanted to scream, I wanted someone to blame, but in the end, there was only me. Only me. So you see, I cannot meekly bow my head and accept Father's command. Such cowardice is what brought me to this point. I will go to Sir Aymeric, and I will make my own decision. Alright, up to the Forgotten Night area. Lord Commander is not to be disturbed. May I ask what matter demands his personal attention? I see. Very well. You may enter.
Lord Commander, if I may, I wish to speak with you before the Grand Melee.
Proceed.
How do you do it, my lord? How do you lead with such certainty, when so many of our countrymen will not hear of peace with the Dravanians? Some of them hate you almost as much as the dragons themselves. They decry you as a patricide in the streets. They even tried to kill you, for God's sakes. Yet still you march on, undaunted, where no archbishop dared to tread. What is your secret? Where do you find the strength?
For centuries, our nation has been punished for the sins of our forefathers. If our punishment is to end, I believe we must right the wrongs of antiquity and move forward as a nation united. Needless to say, my father did not share this opinion. He did not believe the people strong enough to bring about their own deliverance, trusting only in himself. Tyranny seemed to him the only solution. But I have faith in the people, Lord Amanalain. I have faith that they will weather this storm and overcome every trial we set before them. Many have fought and died to see this blight upon our nation's history cleansed, and I would not let their sacrifices be in vain. Though we invite reprisals, the risk is worth the reward.
I want to believe. I do. Lord Commander, through my careless orders, a pall has been cast over these proceedings, and I beg the opportunity to make amends. I, Amanalain de Forton, do hereby request leave to take part in the Grand Melee.
I to deny such a heartfelt plea? We would be honored to have you join the fray, my lord.
You will take charge of the Ishgardian forces.
For all my other responsibilities, I am still Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and I would not soon yield this duty to another.
The esteemed Sir Emmerich leading the Temple Knights and the Watch into battle along with my youngest. I could wish for no more.
Then you wish for too little, my lord. There is another who might yet join the fray. An indispensable ally to whom we owe much and more.
Hi! Not a smile.
An adventurer beholden to none who nevertheless chose to champion our cause, who has shared in our suffering and in our glory. A warrior without equal, who I am privileged to call a friend. There is no one I would rather have fighting by my side. I ask this in full knowledge of your obligations, and will not think less of you should you refuse. But if your conscience will allow it, might you oblige me, my friend, one more time? Together we shall give the people a spectacle for the ages, a celebration to mark the dawning of a new era.
And we got dragged into it anyway. God help me, I think it might be love. I dare say it might be cheating too. Giving me your presence is enough to turn the tide of most battles. And did you see the way his eyes lit up when you nodded? Oh, 'twas a look of boundless relief and joy. One would think a politician more practiced at concealing his emotion. Still, his honesty does him credit. For a moment, I was fair inspired to pledge myself to the cause. But that would be improper. This is their fight, and yours, but not mine. What do these even look like? I don't actually know. Actually, those are kind of cool. I won't lie, those are actually pretty cool. I don't think I've ever actually looked at them. I want to take them. A spectacle for the ages. Sir Emmerich informs me that the Alliance leaders have agreed to his proposal. The Grand Melee will be held here, in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment, and inside of the capital. The announcement has been made, and allied forces are currently en route. The eyes of Ishgard are upon us, Arya. We must not fail. Or opportunity to see you pit yourself against allied forces outside of Cartonville, perhaps? But not miss this for the world. Goody goody. Alright, so we want to head to Judgment. There she is! I say, when you didn't appear, I began to question. Nothing. Never mind. To think that we are mere moments away from facing the cream of Eorzea's soldiery in battle. That I am mere. What if... Oh, what am I saying? I have to stop imagining the worst. I must think of victory and the glory of the stories I will tell on the road when he awaits. Solo instance. I'm ready, old girl. Are you? But fury, how could I forget? Father bid me present this to you. I know it is sudden, but we believe the men would find it inspiring if you bore the colors of House Forton into battle. Pray do us this honor. During the Grand Melee, some of your gear will be glamored. Your attributes and abilities will be unaffected.
Let all here present heed well the rules of engagement.
The Grand Melee is a large-scale battle in which an allied company of Ildon, Gridanian, and Lamentum forces will be pitted against a company of Ishgardian forces. When a combatant is incapacitated, the opposing company will be awarded tactical points. The first company that attained the designated tactical rating of 100 points is declared the victor. During the Grand Melee, officiants may mark certain combatants with the Fury's Gaze, which will be indicated by an ethereal tether linking them to their company's flag. While defeating most combatants will award your company 1 tactical point, defeating marked combatants will award your company 10 tactical points. Marked combatants also possess enhanced attributes, rendering them more powerful and more difficult to defeat. Defending and defeating these combatants is the key to victory. In other words, they're kind of like using a PvP sort of deal here.
For the honor and the glory of Ishgard.
All is ready then. Very well. Brave men and women of the Eorzean Alliance, let the Grand Melee begin!
Yeah, so this is essentially like showing off one of the PvP types. It was probably introduced in this patch if they're using it here to be like, hey, check this out. I don't know for certain. I don't have the list up on me in handy right now, but alright, so you can see on the right we have the gauge for the 2 different sides. So I'm gonna go and beat up on Pippin. Furious Gaze is upon us! Yay! Oh. Amaric's just fighting Rowan. It's like, boom. Oh. We got someone tethered. Alright, we're at 12. We're up 12-0. Oh, we got another one tethered over here. Nope, they took out one of ours. We got right here. Go and take them on. I guess. Oh, nope, Pippin's back. Work on Pippin. Come here, Guardian, show us your medal. Gotta say, you all could use with better looking stuff. Oh, they don't have anyone there now? Each guard, rally to the first commander! Oh, they're trying to take on Lucia? Oh, yeah. And she does, like, the thing that, you know, oh, I'm being targeted, let's run away from everything, apparently. What the heck? Why are they like, yeah, let's have that be a thing in this? So yeah, the key really is to take on the tethered ones, of course. Apparently I was doing it too well, tethering anyone. Oh, there goes Storm Commander. So wait, I can fight the Storm Commander, but not Ravon. What the heck? Seriously, what the heck? Where are your tethers? There they are. Finally. That's the Spirit Flames out. Still turn forward. No. I want to win this. I think I'm like way ahead. Oh wait, I'm the one who's being tethered. What the heck? I'm like, there's a tether here. Oh wait, it's on me. Cyclops! Cyclops! Everyone on your guard! All forces, fall back. Wait, I thought you weren't getting involved, Thancred. Or you're gonna do that. You should be a monk, Thancred. Like, seriously. Continue the melee, I will deal with him. Daft sod. You heard the man, back to it. All forces, form a line in Arya, now! Oh, hey, Rabon's the one now tethered. We're doing it this way, huh? Lieutenant, I will not lie. I was hoping we'd come to this. So then, shall we dance? Damn it all! It's cool. I got this. Don't worry. I just gotta fight this guy who knocked you the heck out. Oh, I missed it. The Furious Gaze has fallen upon General Avon and me. Just the two of them in there. On your guard, Lord of Mandalorian. The fight is not yet finished. Alright, so we gotta watch out for that outer bit. I gotta watch out for this inner bit, which I couldn't see because of the outer bit. Just keep coming. We cannot. We will not yield. Of course, they would make him have to have positional. You hear me, old girl? Don't you dare lose. Yeah, I got this. Don't worry. Alright, take out these swords. Strength, Arya. Strength. Now is your chance. Yeah, he's down. He's already down. Alright, alright. Here, take your victory. You've earned it. Barely even tickled. So I took out the swords. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't have barely tickled if I hadn't taken out the swords.
Did she win? Then we...
Victory is ours! Ishgard! Ishgard!
Well fought, my friend. You truly are the warrior of warriors.
Thank the Fury you were on our side.
My lungs are burning, and I can barely stand. I didn't think I could do it, but then I did. We did. We faced the Alliance's best, and together, with one heart, with one purpose, we prevailed. After 1,000 years of hardship, of strife and bloodshed, we are strong enough to rise to any challenge, be it on the battlefield or beyond. The future holds so much promise, so much joy. We need only show them the way.
Truly magnificent display, Sir Knight. While doubtless less than pleased, I am quite sure the Grand Companies are honored to have been bested by such valiant warriors.
The honor was ours, Your Grace.
I am pleased to see that Ishgard's proud martial tradition is being upheld. When the time comes, I trust you will fight alongside your brothers and sisters in the Eorzean Alliance with the same fervor you displayed in opposing them. I note that our friend elected to take the field in Ishgardian colors.
At my behest, Your Grace. If we have given offense, the blame lies with me.
Fear not, Sir Knight. It was a surprise, nothing more. And any hint of ill feeling was thoroughly dispelled by the spectacle of our mutual friend's duel with General Raubarn. On the subject of surprises, I could not help but marvel at the passion and unity of purpose displayed by your countrymen, given the troubling reports we have received of late.
I shall take that as a compliment, Your Grace. The events to which you allude are the price of change. The end of the Dragonsong War marks the beginning of a new era for our nation, and for the people, high and lowborn alike, who will lead her into the future.
people. Change is indeed a perilous thing, for we who seek it, and they who fear it. I shall pray for Ishgard, and for you.
Well, that made for a refreshing change. Congratulations on your victory, by the way. Ishgardians certainly seem happy with themselves. I, for my part, am merely glad you did not strain anything in the process of single-handedly winning the battle for them.
It was tough. You, on the other hand...
Tis but a scratch, I assure you, and I will not suffer you to worry over me. Not when we have a dozen far more important concerns. Make that 2 dozen. Still, as your stolen never tires of telling me, we can but face them head-on one at a time. One day at a time, as Minfilia would have done.
There's Raban. Balls. I've forgotten what it felt like to feel so alive. Not since leaving the Blood Sands have I had the privilege, not since the Bull of Alamigo hung up his swords. Back then, the outcome might have been different, but I do not begrudge you your victory. I know how far you have come, how much you have endured. Our fight only confirmed it. We shall have to do this again one day when time allows. I shall look forward to it. Now go. Go to the Ishgardians and celebrate your victory. You have earned it. Come, Pippin. Her Grace is expecting us. Lead on, Father. Alright, let's go speak with Thancred. Said your goodbyes. In all the years I've known Raban, I cannot recall ever seeing him look so happy in defeat. Well, everything seems to be falling into place, does it not? The Ishgardians have claimed their symbolic victory. The Aura's alliance has been strengthened in the process. Be proud, Arya. You made this happen. Man. Actually, is this level 60? That's not glowy. Actually, that is actually really cool, though. Huh. If it only was glowy. You have learned the emote victory! Let's go. Victory! Oh. What's the new emote then if it's not /victory? The heck? Sort. Default. Expressions. No, it's in here. Wait, so I learned the emote victory, but it's not in here? There it is. Oh, V-pose, it's that one. So V-pose is different per job. Let's try that again, but this time in motion, so I'm not like spamming it. So yeah, that in particular. Is the mock one. Anyways, for those we can yet save. We have done it. Nay, you have done it. You have brought us the victory we so desperately needed. There is not left but to return to the capital. Come, let's see what reception awaits us.
My lord!
Au revoir, my boy. Shouldn't you be in bed?
Thank you for your concern, my lord. But I have largely recovered from my ordeal, and I have naught but several scars to show for it, which I have been told some women may find appealing.
I see. And to think I was worried sick over you.
I'm not sure I understand, my lord.
Well, let's put that theory to the proof, shall we?
My lord?
'Twould seem that a great many things have occurred in my absence. I thought I might begin to make amends by welcoming you in person.
The messengers spared not their chocobos to bring us word of your victory in the grand melee. I cannot well describe our elation when we heard the news. It called to mind the day we rejoined the Eorzean Alliance, and I glimpsed hope rekindled in the eyes of the people.
The Fury herself ushers us into a new era. Sir Emmerich, the time is now.
Aye, that it is. Reconvene the conference and summon Vidofnir to Falcon's Nest. We will make peace with Hraesvelga's brood and hasten this bloody war to its end.
Yes, Lord Commander.
I will send word to Artoirel and bid him resume preparations. Emmanuel, you will place yourself at your brother's disposal. He will be glad of your assistance.
No stopping it now, is there? We should inform Y'shtola and the others.
My dear friend, I doubt I will ever be able to thank you enough. But when the conference is successfully concluded, I damn well mean to try.
Hello, Afanil. They say you duel General Raban within the Ring of Flames. Did not think the man so ostentatious. Would that I could have seen it. After we parted ways in Matoya's cave, I returned here to speak with Tataru. We agreed to tell the others only that our search for Manphilia had reached an impasse. I subsequently learned that you had left for Falcon's Nest, but I thought it best to keep it to myself for a time. I don't want to rely on you overmuch when we are together, and I needed to reflect. I still do, I suspect, but matters here seem to be coming to a head. In short, there are some things I feel I must say, though nothing so urgent that it cannot wait until after the conference. So let's make for Falcon's Nest and see if Lord Archwell has need of our assistance. Please no. Alright. Falcon's Nest once more. Sorry, I think I should have split this again. Goodness me. Well met, Mistress Ariana, and thank you for looking after my brother. They say he fought bravely, that he did not dishonor his house. But you, my lady, to you we owe everything. As you can see, we have made every effort to strike while the iron is hot. We have made our intentions known, and that all would be welcome to attend, and so they came. By the grace of the Fury, they came. The ceremony will not be a lengthy affair, but there is still much to be done. I would speak with you more, but I must do my duties. As for you and Master Alphino, you will do naught but enjoy yourselves, is that clear? If any dare beg your assistance again, I will have words. I think he's hinting at something. Well, there you have it. We have been forbidden from meddling. Shall we wait, or have you other matters to attend to before the ceremony begins? Let's have to wait for the ceremony to begin. Excellent. I only hope Vancred and the others will not be late. Yeah, Efaco events do not come around very often.
The appointed hour approaches.
Aye.
She begged leave to watch the proceedings. I saw no reason not to grant it.
Should I choose to deviate from my prepared remarks, I ask that you trust in my judgment.
Have I ever done otherwise?
Look!
The White Dragon!
Ah, how long it hath been since our peoples met thus, children of Thordan, even by our reckoning.
Vidofnir, daughter of Hraesvelga, we give thanks for your visit, and bid you welcome to Falcon's Nest.
Our sire bade us hearken unto the whispers of our hearts. They spoke to us of a paradise lost, of bonds of brotherhood which they yearned to see restored.
Ours too yearn for such a restoration, and they have guided us here this day, that they might yearn no longer. Brothers and sisters, ye who stand as witness, hearken to me. Since the days of Eld, when the bonds betwixt man and dragon were sundered by our hand, our peoples have known only war. Bloodshed without end, losses beyond counting, and still we fought. And still we fought. Some wounds do not heal. The dead cannot be returned to us. But we, the living, can yet choose another course. Here and now, we can lay down this burden, this hatred, this vengeance. Our forebears fought not so that we could die, but that we might live. So let us honor their sacrifice and spare our children this death sentence. Let us gift them a new legacy, life.
Betwixt our peoples yawneth a divide deeper than the deepest abyss, wider than the widest sea. Generations will live and die ere this divide is bridged. Knowing this, doth thy heart yet yearn for peace, son of Thordan?
Look now on the legacy we would leave to our children. A dream of peace, inscribed in stone for generations to come.
Beloved, as they were so long ago, happy and at peace. The dream they shared shall be ours once more.
Your bow!
Child of Dravania, art thou grown so forgetful that thou wouldst forsake kith and kin and consort with the spawn of Thordan? That thou wouldst dare contemplate peace? Hearken unto me, all of you! The final chorus is nigh, and all will be held to account. All will bathe in the flames of retribution. Till the coming of that day, look you on your sins and despair, for none shall escape my wrath. None shall escape my revenge.
Seven hells. Damn you, Nidhogg. Hells, take that worm! While he lives, we'll never know peace.
Aye! There'll be no end to this war till Nidhogg is dead and gone!
So let's kill the bastard and be done with it. Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg!
Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg!
There they go, the last of the guests. Having come hither with hope in their hearts, they depart with hatred and bloodlust. To the moment I saw him strike, I still had some small hope that what you had seen in Azislaw was an illusion, perhaps. But he acted without hesitation, as did Sir Emmerich. For a mercy, Vidofnir's wound was not mortal, so Lucia tells me. The dragon was spirited away to Annex, trying to receive care from her brethren. We can but hope her recovery is swift. Such was surely Nidhogg's intent, to deliver a proclamation not only to the children of Thornton, but to his kindred. War is coming, and ye who do not stand with us stand apart. She was an example, a message to her brood, another instrument of his vengeance, like Estinian. Why would I put those in the same one? Yeah, these aren't glowy. So just whatever. Causes and costs. Are we gonna finally almost get to the end? When I said I wished to speak with you after the conference, I confess I am envisaged rather happier circumstances. If anything, however, this latest tragedy makes the need more pressing. There are things I must say, not to the warrior of light, or even my fellow Scion, but to you, Arya, my friend. But not here, no. Ah, but of course, the Intercessory in Camp Dragonhead is still open to us. Let's go there. Alright. I've been there in a while. Madam? Yes, you may show me inside.
Forgive me. That took longer than expected.
Look,
you seem puzzled. Oh, these. I thought something warming might not go amiss.
Look, the last time I had a drink, it was drugged, okay?
It was not all that long ago that we sat here, you and I. In our very own falling snows, as Lord Horshvon called it. I still struggle to believe he is gone. And Azelle, too. I had such hopes for her. Master Matoya asked me what it was all for. Why we fight. And why we die. Were I still commander of the Braves, I would doubtless have replied, for the future of Eorzea. But I'm not that man. Not anymore. I needed a new answer. One that I could live with. And when I saw Estinian at the ceremony, I knew at last what it was. I do not want to be a man who sacrifices his friends and family for a cause. I want to fight for Estinian, and I want to save him. When Nidhogg leads the Horde into battle, Ser Emeric and his forces will do what they believe must be done. That is their choice to make. Yet even if Ser Emeric is willing to forsake Estinian, I am not. We must fight for him, for he is our friend and ally. We may struggle, we may fail, but we must try. Lord Horshvon would be proud. I knew you would understand. Together, we will surely find a way.
Where are we off to? 2 feet away, apparently. Thank you, Arya. It is unfair of me to unburden myself in this manner time after time, but I'm glad that you permit me nonetheless. You are my true friend and ally. Though not all of our fellow Scions will support our stance on Estinian, I have faith that we will win them over in due course. Such is the infectious power of hope. Right, that is quite enough solemn introspection for one day. I think we would both benefit from some time in the company of Tataru. She stays for us at the Fort Taunt Manor. Let's not keep her waiting any longer. Yet again, we walk an all too familiar path. I am reminded of when we first came to this manor. Lost and uncertain, we were granted succor in our hour of need. We were saved. Now it's our turn to return the favor. Here, here, let no one say that the Scions do not repay their debts. After all, what kind of people would we be if we forsook our friends? If we stopped looking for Eda and Papalimo? If we gave up hope on bringing Memphilia back? Though she knew it would cost her dearly, Memphilia reached out to us to deliver a message. She believed it was imperative that we understand the true nature of the star, of the rift between Zodiark and Hydaelyn, and of the Ascians' aspirations. But for all that has been revealed, I cannot shake the suspicion that there is much we have yet to learn. In any event, I think it's time we step back from the fray and carefully consider our next course of action. It will not be easy to turn this tragedy to triumph, but we will find a way. We will. We will. Oh, mending, striking. I'm actually gonna take the fending one. You have learned the emote battle stance! So much like victory pose. We have battle stance now, which is, I think, B stance. And it's like we're readying for battle.
Of all the ways for it to end. Even before his transformation, I could feel the worm's hatred swirling about Estinian. The terrible, all-consuming rage. Enough to fuel a 1,000-year quest for vengeance. It was all I could do not to run away screaming. But Ishgardians, nay, all Eorzeans, are made of sterner stuff. They face danger and death on a daily basis and understand what it takes to win a war.
Think not too deeply on Master Matoya's words. Her intent was but to steal our resolve. That, and to remind us to look beyond these passing conflicts to trials greater still, to the truth which hides at the heart of this world.
So that's your aim, is it?
You disapprove?
Not at all. I believe it's traditional for the student to follow in the footsteps of the master. And you are so very alike.
Change. That great inexorable wave was upon us, and soon all of Ishgard would bend to its will. For all our sins, for all our scars, the future for which we had long yearned was at last within our grasp. But it would be bought at a heavy price. For in those twilight hours did Nidhogg cry out for vengeance, and his brethren raise their voices for the final chorus of the Dragon Song War.
From the memoirs of Count Edmond de Breton, Heavensward, the Gears of Change. Caution, Ida. That's all. That is all I ask. Do not be so eager to place your faith in them. Not until we know more. First gear. Yay, we finished the 3.2 story. So, oh my goodness. I remember that being shorter, but then it was longer, and oh my gosh. So, next time we'll go ahead and do the 3.2 postgame, the dungeon, the trial, the next Alexander tier, and yeah. So, actually, it's probably gonna be over multiple parts, but you get my point. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, possibly videos, consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. If you really enjoyed it, consider supporting the channel. All support greatly helps her keep being content like this and more. You can find the links for that in the description, along with links to me on social media. So thank you again for watching, and until next time, this is rinimt, signing out.